Building a brand from scratch is no joke, and that includes 𝐸𝐵𝐻 as well. How did he build his brand from scratch and earn a record deal as an independent artist? First and foremost, it took relentless dedication to his craft and commitment to seeing his vision through, even when the odds seemed impossible for new rappers to break through and stand out online. While lacking resources, 𝐸𝐵𝐻 slowly started generating an organic buzz on the streets of New York. Embracing old school direct-to-fan outreach and grassroots marketing tactics helped him build a local fan base, block by block, one support at a time. And trust me, it do take time. Most likely a 5 to 6 year journey, whether you're trying to provide a service or deliver a product for people. Don't let the outside world fool you with microwavable success people now these days, alright? If you're an aspiring creative, feeling stuck trying to stand out and build a brand in 2024, oversaturated internet landscape, 𝐸𝐵𝐻's come up story is for you. But before we get into that, we gotta know about him before the fame. David Lawrence Brewster Jr., who later became a rapper known as 𝐸𝐵𝐻, was born in New York City. Throughout his childhood and teenage years, he split his time living between East Harlem with his mom and Ravenswood with his aunt, having Bayesian, Louisiana, Creole ancestry. Bro wasn't always a rapper during high school at Springbrook in Silver Springs, Maryland, near Washington, D.C. He played basketball and football. He also played amateur athletic union basketball with future NBA players Ty Lawson. After finishing his high school years at Springbrook High, 𝐸𝐵𝐻 moved on to play college basketball. That was his dream at first, which was to make it to the league. It's okay to pivot within life. You don't always have to know what you want to do at a young age. Shit happens, and the new things you experience help shape how you want to form your future. That goes by saying. Dave began at the University of Richmond, where he was excited for the opportunity to bring his skills to the NCAA level. However, Dave decided that Richmond wasn't the right fit, so he transferred to Towson University in hopes of more playing time and a better program. He initially embraced the change to contribute on the court. Unfortunately, tension soon mounted between him and the coaching staff. He disagreed with the coach's strategies and style. He felt that the program wasn't allowing him to properly develop as a player. These ongoing conflicts with the coaches ultimately led him to reconsider his basketball career. Exhausted by the drama with coaches, Dave made the difficult choice to leave the university and give up NCAA basketball. This was a major transition away from a sport that had been central to his life for so long. Shortly after stepping back from basketball in this way, he began facing legal issues in Baltimore. Leaving college ball to pursue music full-time led to a challenging crossroads for the ambitious young man from New York. When he first started taking music seriously, the odds felt impossibly stacked against him as a new artist. 𝐸𝐵𝐻, who had a passion for music from a young age, first made attempts at becoming a professional rapper in 2010 when he was inside his early 20s. At that time, he created his first mixtape titled 𝐶ange of Plans. And I'm pretty sure now, since you heard his early come-ups, you know why he named it that. The mixtape gained some minor recognition locally in New York. I mean, of course it wasn't gonna do nothing too crazy because it was his first project, but it allowed Dave to start building a small fan base, and that's all that mattered. Encouraged, Dave decided to dedicate himself fully to rapping and release several more mixtapes over the next few years, including Insomnia, American Greed, Don't Sleep, and No Regrets. Releasing mixtape after mixtape demonstrated his strong commitment to pursuing a music career. However, we all know as an up-and-coming artist, businessman, or whatever service you want to provide or so choose to, finances can be extremely tight. And so it was tight for David during this time period. To make ends meet while working on his music, Dave resorted to periodically selling drugs on the streets of Harlem in 2013. Fortunately, his music career also began gaining some momentum around this time. In April of 2013, a few months after briefly selling dope, Dave released his 6th official mixtape titled Gemini. This mixtape showed his rapid growth as an artist, which was an indication that old boy was really working on his craft and he wasn't playing. His brand was starting to take notice from the city, and there was buzz starting to spread out on his name, alright? Things seemed seemed to be looking up for Dave as he looked ahead to the future of his blossoming rap career. In 2014, Dave East music caught the attention of Nas' brother, who was in Queens at the time. Coincidentally, Dave East happened to be close friends with Nas' younger brother Jungle. So Jungle told Nas about him, and Nas was interested in signing the up-and-coming musician to his new record label, Mass Appeal Records. He quickly connected the two rappers. By mid-2014, after meeting and vibing over their shared hometown, Nas officially signed Dave East to Mass Appeal Records. This was Dave's first major record deal and a huge milestone in furthering his music career. That co-sign shaped his brand into being someone who respected the craft and took it seriously. In July of 2014, Dave marked his debut on Mass Appeal Records with the release of his 7th mixtape titled Black Rose. The mixtape was well received by critics and gained Dave more recognition. The single Drive-By from the mixtape also started receiving radio play. His career continued accelerating into 2015 with the release of his 8th mixtape, Hate Me Now, which had the high-profile featured guest appearances from the label boss himself, Nas, as well as popular rappers like Pusha T and Jadakiss. Dave East's music was now reaching wider audiences, and his fan base was rapidly growing thanks to the support of Nas and Mass Appeal Records. Over the next couple of years, Dave established himself as a rising star in hip-hop off the momentum of his new label backing. 2 years later, in June of 2016, XXL magazine, which is a major hip-hop publication, revealed their freshman class of rising new artists to watch out for that year. To his surprise and excitement, Dave East found himself included on the prestigious list, alongside other up-and-coming artists like 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞, 21 Savage, Kodak Black, Lil Uzi, and much more. Being named a XXL freshman was a huge milestone for Dave that further validated him as not just a local New York City rapper, but also now a rising national star inside of the hip-hop world. The following month, Dave flew out to LA where he joined fellow 2016 freshman 𝐬𝐻RBO to perform a freestyle rap on the Freshman Cypher Showcase hosted by DJ Drama. The showcase was filmed and promoted by XXL, giving him more exposure to audiences everywhere. Riding high off that XXL wave, Dave dropped a joint EP album in August with his frequent collaborator titled Born Broke, Die Rich. He was active. He didn't begin to get recognition and chill and simply just sit back and enjoy the moment. He continued to work on his craft and put out projects consistently. He continued his hot streak by participating that September at the BET Hip Hop Awards. With his stock clearly on the rise after a breakout 2016 year, Dave signed a major joint venture record deal with Def Jam hip hop executive Steve-O. Steve-O even said that Def Jam's deal was a multi-million-dollar venture with Triangle Orphans, a management company launched by East and his longtime manager, Wayno Clark. Mass Appeal Records is included in the deal as a distribution partner as well. The very next day, Dave strategically released his 11th mixtape, 𝐼𝐸 which peaked at number 38 on the Billboard 200 album chart, giving him his first taste of commercial success. The mixtape featured appearances from established stars like The Game, Fabulous, and 2 Chainz, further elevating Dave's status as he strategically entered the hip-hop scene in a more mainstream kind of way. Coming off a huge 2016, Dave East kicked off 2017 by adding an actor to his resume. In January, he made his acting debut with a guest starring role on BET's popular TV drama series, Being Mary Jane. Landing a role on a top-rated cable show provided a rush of mainstream exposure for Dave beyond just music fans. On the music front though, Dave kept his momentum going by releasing another EP album in August titled Paranoia, A True Story. The EP featured his Billboard charting single Perfect with R&B singer Chris Brown. Other collaborations included Paranoia with Atlanta trap rapper J-Z and Phone Jumpin' featuring Wiz Khalifa. Slowly making improvements and climbing up, the EP debuted at number 9 on the Billboard 200 album chart, giving Dave his first ever top 10 project. Between TV roles and a chart-topping new release, Dave East elevated to a whole new level of fame in 2017. He had successfully transitioned from a rising regional rapper to an established star with crossover appeal in hip-hop, R&B, and acting over the course of just a couple years. His grind was paying off and the opportunities kept coming in from all directions. At just the age of 29 in 2017, he was only beginning to scratch the surface of how big his brand would eventually become. Riding high off the success of his Paranoia EP, he waited wasted no time putting out new music for his eager fan base. Later in that year, he released his 11th official mixtape, Karma. Karma marked the genesis of what would become an ongoing mixtape series for Dave. In 2019, making his film debut that year, playing a supporting character named Mr. Fon in the Netflix movie Beats. While it was a small part, it's all about baby steps, continuing to advance in your own journey. It marked his introduction onto the big screen. Dave's big acting break came later in 2019 when he was cast as a series regular playing famed rapper Method Man on the Hulu TV series Wu-Tang: An American Saga. Starring as such an iconic figure was a huge milestone for Dave's acting aspirations and introduced him to wider audiences nationally. His momentum on screens carried into 2020 when it was confirmed Dave had landed for Dave's acting aspirations and introduced him to wider audiences nationally. His momentum on screens carried into 2020 when it was confirmed Dave had landed another supporting role in the upcoming film Boogie. I bet a lot of y'all didn't even know that, but the role ended up going to Pop Smoke, who's deceased now, RIP, and Dave was removed from that film. Nonetheless, with 2 big roles under his belt in 2019 and more opportunities on the way, Dave East was making a name for himself as an actor around the same time his music stardom continued rising. He now had the versatility and artist persona to back up his top brand in the game status. I'm talking about versatility, not just being a musician. I'm talking about a lot of things. Harlem rapper Dave East has teamed up with iconic Italian sneaker brand Diadora to design his own shoe. The sneaker was based on Diadora's classic N9002 model, featuring a special color scheme picked out specifically by Dave East himself. When you start rolling into branding and just marketing yourself, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Dave even bought a store inside Harlem, New York. It was an act that was inspired by his late friend Nipsey Hussle. Dave East's empire may be in the beginning stages of being built, but it's emblematic of the history of Def Jam artist spitters, continues both inside and outside of the art form. Dave's journey demonstrates that you don't need a ton of money to start out. You just need focus, hunger, and tireless effort perfecting your craft. Y'all saw how consistent this man was when releasing projects. He's one of the most active artists out here. If you capture people's hearts on your own terms, the opportunities will come. Dave brought himself up from nothing the hard way, and his underdog story can inspire any creative person feeling stuck in today's oversaturated digital landscape. Where there's a will, there's a way, alright? We'd love to hear your biggest takeaway from his journey. Please share your thoughts inside the comment section down below, and make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you gain motivation from Dave's rise or just appreciated learning the story behind it. Thanks for watching this come up story. Alright, y'all. This is North Studios. Till next time, I'm out.